The Checkpoint is presented by GM Pharma, the first international multinational pharmaceutical company in Georgia. GM Pharma, to serve those who need it most.
This is the Checkpoints presented by Elena Kvantulashvili and myself. I'm David Jalagoni, and we're ready to tell you more about business and economics.
Yes, 10 p.m. sharp, and day by day we're getting closer to the Christmas mood. At least that's what's supposed to happen if we look at grand lightning in the streets of Tbilisi and not only here. But businesses waiting for the winter season do not seem to be hearing carols yet. The big question looming in the air is still whether or not Georgia's ski resorts should await another COVID-19 winter wipeout this season. The temperature at Georgian winter resorts began dropping below freezing and the first snow came in the country. However, the winter resorts are not officially opened yet. Would this year's ski season in Georgia be a repeat of 2020 when ski lifts were shuttered and tourists were not admitted? Natia Taktakishvili will tell you more.
The temperature at Georgian winter resorts began dropping below freezing and the first snow came in the country. However, the winter resorts are not officially opened yet. Supposedly, ski season will begin from December 16. Would this year's ski season in Georgia be a repeat of 2020, when ski lifts were shuttered, tourists were not admitted, and hotels and restaurants struggled to keep afloat? Or would a vaccine rollout finally allow Georgian resorts to return to normal? It's a question of vital importance for the representatives of the local businesses whose economy is entirely dependent on mountain tourism. Winter is the high season for mountain resorts. Hotels, restaurants and local businesses survive on the stream of tourists that usually starts arriving in December. Expectations of local businesses are more or less optimistic for this year. Natia Taktakishvili, the founder of Heliski Georgia, declares based on the previous experience that the sector has no guarantees and it can close again due to the senseless acts of the government. He notes that the sector does not know when the season will begin, how long the winter resorts will be open, or how the regulations will work.
Unfortunately, I must say that we are following the flow. We cannot plan any proactive actions. If we see that we don't have any major problems in terms of management by mid-January and there are no strict regulations due to the pandemic, we can say that the resorts can operate with a small load. Otherwise, this season will fail like the previous one. As for the bookings, we received orders from spring, but this year we have stopped all sales and our websites are turned off. Selling something today is madness because the season can fail due to the senseless act of the government.
Taktakishvili expects that this year will be difficult regarding the international visitors, as the main partner countries have a tough situation due to the pandemic. Lockdowns are announced in Austria and Germany. However, founder of Heliski Georgia still considers that foreign tourists will reach 20 to 25% of pre-pandemic levels. Also, he notes that prices on winter resorts will be up by 20%.
Prices will be quite high in a peak period, but after the new year, a decrease is inevitable. Artificially grown prices have their own reasons. Business players don't have guarantees that they will operate during the whole season, so they want to get maximum revenue in a short period of time and offset the expenditures. This is not their whim. This is a process of survival. Prices will be high, but after the first peak period, from January 8th, they will go down and offers will exceed the demand.
Natia Taktakishvili is not alone with his worries. Maya Sidamonidze, managing partner of Pro Travel, declares that last year's ski season has been a disaster down the line. According to Maya Sidamonidze, before the pandemic, they knew the booking statistics 3 months earlier, but now it's impossible to make a forecast because rooms are booked only 2 or 3 days in advance. She notes that it's difficult to talk about ski season in such an unpredictable condition.
The state has not created any expectations whether the resorts will be open or not. The winter season has actually come while the private sector is not informed how they will continue operating. But it is important to provide timely information to the tourists, but we don't have the answers yet.
Company in group is more optimistic. They say that if bookings are continued, they will be back to pre-pandemic levels during this season. Erikle Kokaya, CEO of In Group, declares that the hotels in Bakuriani and Gudauri are fully booked for the new year. In the case of Bakuriani, demand comes from local tourists, while in Gudauri it comes from Baltic states and Asia countries.
We have tried our best not to offer increased prices to the customers, despite the fact that our expenditures are significantly grown. I hope that we will get back to the pre-pandemic levels. Gudauri is fully loaded from January 1st to January 5, and there are very few places left in Bakuriani. Even if we look at it on a monthly basis, it looks quite a positive, because the whole January is loaded by almost 60%. We should keep in mind that additional bookings will be made in January, which means that the load will increase to 80% to 90%.
The hotel city in Mestia does not have clear expectations for the winter season. As the representative of the hotel told BMG, they have not increased the prices, but there is no demand either from local or international tourists even for the new year. Late in October, government of Georgia released regulations for the coming winter season, with rules for passenger capacity in ski lift gondolas and open lifts set for pandemic safety. According to the current regulations, 8 passengers are admitted in 10-seat gondolas operating on ski lifts to carry people up the slopes, while the open seat type lifts will be allowed to be used in full capacity. Tourists must present a green pass at mountain resorts in order to use the ski lift gondolas or hotels.
The Checkpoint is presented by GM Pharma, the first international multinational pharmaceutical company in Georgia. GM Pharma, to serve those who need it most.